What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Matt Llewellyn. And today we're going to be talking about the brutal chess match that is going to be taking place next Sunday against Kyle Shanahan and Bill Belichick. Matt, this is two of the best coaches in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. How tough is this chess match going to be for Kyle Shanahan to come on top of?
Well, I mean, Belichick's resume speaks for itself. He's that master manipulator. You know, there was that video going around where he took like a delay of game, and then he took a false start penalty to like run clock down. Mm-hmm. And they focused on Bill Belichick on the sideline, you know, Mr. Hoodie, who always has like this stone face. And he had this like maniacal little smirk on his face because he knew he was like gaming the system. And those are the things that you see. It was really refreshing to see the NFL 100 series last year with Rich Eisen and Bill Belichick on there, and to just hear Bill Belichick gush about these different players. You can tell that he lives the game of football. And, you know, the things that he's done, even though Cam Newton is inconsistent and an uneven player, the things that he's kind of had to do with such little talent in New England this year, it just speaks to the type of coach that he is. So on the flip side, we saw in the Super Bowl against Atlanta, at least at first, you know, Kyle Shanahan's offense was able to be effective against the Bill Belichick defense. And I think that Shanahan system in general has been, you know, fairly effective against Bill Belichick. I just think that there's something there that, you know, the way that Kyle schemes it, it's really hard to defend for any team. So it really, Kyle's going to have to be on his A game for the 49ers to, you know, really take advantage of that New England defense, which is really what their hallmark is. And, you know, on the opposite side of the ball, we're going to have to hope that Robert Saleh has something for that offense. Contain on Cam Newton is going to be a big one. They're going to have to force him to throw, dare him to throw, and beat him with his arm rather than him getting out and extending plays with his legs. So, you know, again, that's going to fall under Kyle too, though, as the overseer of the team. So really, you know, Kyle is going to have to look at a lot of film, has his work cut out for him, and this is going to be one hell of a coaching matchup. Even more so than just the players on the field, I think the matchup between Kyle and Bill Belichick is going to be the thing that we focus on the most.
It's going to be really exciting to see, man. And, you know, lost in all of this is the return of Jimmy Garoppolo going back to Foxborough. Bill Belichick knows him the best. He probably knows how to scheme him up to confuse him. He knows his strengths, knows his weaknesses. And, you know, I'm sure Jimmy is going to want to be on his A game as well. But hopefully that means that Kyle Shanahan will drop the best game plan, because we saw Sunday night against the Rams. As long as that game plan puts Jimmy in the right positions to win, Jimmy can execute it 90% of the time. He can get the job done. So he will be another week removed from that ankle injury. Hopefully by now he's fully healthy. I'm excited to see it because Kyle Shanahan is one of, if not the best play caller in the NFL. It's like 1A and 1B, Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid. And, you know, like you said,
McVay in there a little bit. I think McVay has some good play calling.
That's fair. Yeah.
The other thing, I thought it was funny that Bill Belichick came out and was like, yeah, I like Jimmy. You know, when we traded him to San Francisco, I'm glad it's working out there. He's like, I hope it doesn't work out on Sunday. And then he went on to talk about how George Kittle is going to be a huge focus of his defensive game plan because Kittle can kill you if you don't pay attention to him. So it really is going to have to be a masterful job for Kyle Shanahan to scheme Kittle open and to set Jimmy up for success when, you know, Belichick this early in the week is talking about how those players are the players that you need to pay attention to, which, of course, tells me that he's probably going to let George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo hook up but take away Deebo Samuel or something. I don't know. Belichick's always got something hidden up his sleeve. Yeah. So that crotchety old bastard, he's definitely probably the GOAT coach right now. So, you know, it's going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, he's got that 40 chess going on. And just like he said, he's probably putting this stuff out. And he said the quote about George Kittle was, I don't think there's a tight end in the league. And we've seen a lot of good ones and had a lot of good ones. But I don't think there's anyone in the NFL that does everything overall as well as he does, which is high praise. And just like you said, to start off, you don't really hear that from Bill Belichick much, you know, about anybody. He's kind of just meh about everyone, even Tom Brady. I mean, so the fact that he's praising George, Yeah, he'll probably let him go off. And the matchup I'm most concerned about is Stephon Gilmore on Debo or Brandon Ayuk, whoever they line him up against. They're likely going to be taken out of the game because Stephon Gilmore is the definition of a lockdown corner.
Yeah, and I would tell Jimmy Garoppolo, whichever side Gilmore's on, whoever Gilmore is covering, don't throw it to that guy.
Don't even try it.
The only thing that you can do really is like throw a ball up for grabs, because Gilmore has, at least this year, has had a tendency to get some PI. You know, he's getting a little grabby this year. So maybe if you throw one that's like, you're kind of throwing to the sideline towards the end zone or something, right? In that back corner of the end zone where he's not going to be able to pick it off. You can try that. But really, beyond that, you're not going to want to do that. And you even have to watch out. The secondary in New England is good. The pass rush isn't the best, but their secondary is actually pretty good. The McCourties and Gilmore out there, they're really good. You got to be careful, and that's going to be the thing. Jimmy's going to have another week of turnover-free football, making good decisions, getting the ball out quick, probably getting it underneath stuff early, and then maybe you can extend the field once you kind of set that up. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of the, putting guys in motion like Debo or Ayuk, getting those little flip handoffs or whatever and trying to do it that way. So, yeah, Gilmore is definitely a guy to watch out for because he's dangerous and, he's one of the best for a reason.
We saw DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks earlier in the year completely have his way with him, which is surprising to see. You don't see that often, but I don't think the 49ers have a receiver as physical as DK Metcalf,
No.
Unfortunately. And they don't even have a guy
6'3" and like 1 billion pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
DK,
they don't have
DK weighs what Mike McGlinchey should weigh.
Touche. But yeah, it's going to be tough, and I would agree with you. Just avoid it at all costs because he'll make you pay. Stephon Gilmore that will make Jimmy pay, and you do not want to deal with that. And it's unfortunate that they're going to be without Raheem Mostert this week. That really, I think, limits Kyle Shanahan's playbook. And as far as game planning, a really good scheme and day for the 49ers offense, it's limited now. So we're going to see which Michael Hasty has. Hopefully he doesn't stay in love with cargo plane McKinnon, as you call it, because this is not the game to fall back on him. They're going to need some speed and they're going to need some juice.
Yeah, this is not that half a yard in a cloud of dust crap. Like, we can't do the, maybe a short screen or something on first down and then we're 2nd and 6, but then they get stuffed in the backfield and it's 3rd and 11. Like, we can't do that again. And it's happened too much. With a guy like Belichick, he will feast on those situations. So if we can avoid those at all costs, use the short passing game as kind of a surrogate for the running game in this. So that's what they're going to have to do to really have any shot, or go to Hasty like you probably should, because that kid's really athletic and dynamic looking.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like whoever has the ball longer will probably win this game. It's just going to turn into a game of keep away. So hopefully the 49ers running game brings their A game. And I think the 49ers definitely going to need another outing like we just saw from their offensive line Sunday night against the Rams. I mean, you could basically say that for any game. You need this offensive line to hold up.
Yeah.
But, this game where you don't have Raheem Mostert to make you look that much better, and you have, a lockdown corner on the other side to where Jimmy can't be throwing it 30, 40 times, the running game is going to need to be on point, and that's going to, probably determine the outcome of this game. Real quick, flipping on the other side, you touched on Cam Newton there. Do you like Robert Saleh's chances on being able to stop Cam Newton with his mobile threat that the 49ers haven't been great at stopping, in recent history?
I mean, in an earlier video, we called out Robert Saleh as being inconsistent and, kind of living off of the elite talent that he had last year. And this game is going to be a real test. And I would be lying to you if I told you that I was confident in his ability to contain Cam Newton on the ground, but that's what needs to happen. You want to force Cam to throw over the top and beat you. Their receivers are not good, and Julian Edelman notwithstanding, he's had a good career, but I think his career was largely built on Tom Brady's excellence. And I just don't see it from those guys. Literally their skill position players I can name: Julian Edelman and I'm even having a hard time. N'Keal Harry or whatever, but I don't even. I think he's injured, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Harry might be injured. So those are like the guys that I know. James White, I think, is he still there?
I think so.
Yeah, so
I think so. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm having a hard time even thinking of who they have on their team. It's not anybody that's world beating. It's not like it's not like it's wide receivers for the Browns. So I can name every skill position player for the Browns just because they're so good. It's one of those things where you can't let Cam Newton extend plays and have breakdowns in the secondary because he has all day to look around or run or try to throw or whatever. You have to hold contain. You have to force him to beat you with his arm. And that's where you're going to get him. By the way, that's a lot of mobile quarterbacks. That's the way to get them. You have to make them throw the ball. That when you add that extra element of being a dynamic runner, then it's literally an 11 on 11 defensive situation rather than more 11 on 10 for the defense with the quarterback just kind of staying back there. So yeah, it's imperative for Saleh to kind of get up in his guys' faces this week and say, absolutely not. Do not let Cam Newton beat you on the ground. So that would be what I would say is Robert Saleh's key to success. Otherwise, it furthers in my mind that Saleh might not be the defensive wizard everybody thought he was.
I think that in this case, you definitely cannot let Cam beat you on the ground. If he beats you through his arm, you can live with that. You take that on the chin and you walk away knowing you did everything you could to force him to beat you with his arm. With these receivers, however, if you allow him to just scramble, extend plays like you said, then were you really even trying? Because I know it's hard, it's easier said than done, but at the same time, if you commit all of your defensive, focus to stopping that one thing, the 49ers should be able to get that done. So you force him to beat you with his arm, and you just walk home living with that. But I will end with this last Sunday, watching Drew Lock and the Broncos beat the Patriots definitely has me feeling better going into this week.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. If you like what you see, do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button below. Hit that like button and drop a comment. How do you think this chess match between Kyle Shanahan and Bill Belichick will turn out?
And go ahead and click the bell. Turn on all your notifications so you never miss a video. Until next time, go Niners.